Okay, now let's go straight and start with updates coming from the world of Formula One this morning, where Max Verstappen has strung after towards a dismissive comment about his record-winning streak and suggested the Mercedes team principal spends too much time talking about Red Bull. Verstappen, who is closing in on a third consecutive World Championship, won the Italian Grand Prix earlier this month to become the first driver to win 10 successive Formula One races. Speaking immediately after the race in Monza, Wolff said the streak would not be important for him and is for Wikipedia. Wolff's formerly dominant Mercedes team, who won 8 successive constructors titles between 2014 and 2021, have struggled since the introduction of new design regulations at the start of 2022 season. Mercedes second in the constructors standings, but with George Russell and Lewis Hamilton only managing 5th and 6th respectively in Monza. Red Bulls are already in a position to seal the title this weekend in Singapore. Moving away from that, let's talk tennis this morning, where the Davis Cup is starting, and in the Group 1 of the World Group, we have Alexei Kostoik against Daniel Garland by 9:30 going down, as Nicholas Lunel will take on Sean Shin Chiang. Vladislav Orlov will take on Nicolas Mejer, as Fabian Muruzan will be up against Artog Kelly Bilek, and Marius Scorpio will be up against Yu Shaosh, and Zombo Piros battles Camp Ilkel. Nuno Borges against Joris Rodionov, as Oganovska Vrun will be up against Thiago Monteiro, as Sebastian Offner tackles Joao Souza, and Augusta Omgren against Thiago Sabot Weld. Well, we have updates from the World Group 2. Ruben Starham defeated Kasia Samrej 6-2-7-6. Live update this morning is the battle between Ajit Rai and Maximus Jones. More games to go down today. Let's talk about the ladies this morning at the San Diego Open, where at WTA 500, where we have the battle where Barbara Krejcikova defeated British Adad Mahia 6-4, 6-3 to move to the next round. Jelena Ostapenko and Ludmila Kick Nork are out of the doubles after the loss against Danielle Collins and Coco Vanderweer in the doubles. Emma Navarro defeated Maria Sakkari 6-4, lost 6, 7-6. And the game going down today in the WTA singles of the San Diego Open is a battle between Barbara Krejcikova and Danielle Collins by 10 o'clock tonight. At the Japanese Open WTA 250, Ashley Kroger defeated Anna Kalinskaya 6-3, 6-1, as Zhug Wang defeated Yulia Putintseva 7-6, 6-7, 6-3. The live updates coming from the Japanese Open this morning is a battle between Aria Antonio against Mai Hotama. It's the first set, Joe. Now let's move away from tennis this morning. Remember, well, keep noting on these names, same as the games as well, because those names may come out of the questions we'll be having on the show this morning. Now let's move away from the first half of the show. Let's go straight to the second half of the show, where we talk football. Okay, welcome back to the Kickoff Sports Show on Solutions 939 FM, your Remedy Radio dial. Well, every Friday, starting from today, we'll be having cash gift to give away just based on the questions you answer. If you can answer the question, then you're good to go. But this morning, we're starting with 5,000 Naira to share. By 8:15, we'll start the game. All you need to do is to call the phone lines 0909-888-9939 or 0912-222-2939. Check the time right now. It is 8:08. Well, checking the first story from football. Super Eagles and Bayern Leverkusen striker Victor Boniface has won the Bundesliga Player of the Month award for August. Organizers of the German top flight Bundesliga made the announcement on their X handle on Thursday. Boniface beat Xavi Simons of RB Leipzig and German-born Nigerian goalkeeper Noah Atubolu of Freiburg. It's Boniface's second individual award since joining Leverkusen, as he was named Rookie of the Month for August. The 22-year-old marked his first month in the Bundesliga with 2 goals and 1 assist. His impressive performance earned him a call-up, which first of its kind for the Super Eagles of Nigeria for their final 2023 AFCON qualifier against Sao Tome and Principe. He matched his debut with an assist, creating the 6th goal scored by Samuel Chukwueze as the Eagles whitewashed Sao Tome Principe 6-0. Well, talking about the German Bundesliga games scheduled for this weekend, remember we should also be expecting Boniface to see if he can make the face of players of Bayern come out with tears with his performance.
The week 4 of the German Bundesliga kicks off with champions Bayern Munich facing counterpart Bayern Leverkusen as Dortmund will be visiting Freiburg. Wolfsburg will tackle Union Berlin, RB Leipzig will take on Augsburg, while Stuttgart tackles Mainz at home. Hoffenheim will battle FC Köln, while Bochum will hope to secure their first win of the season against Eintracht Frankfurt. On Sunday, Heidenheim will lock horns with Werder Bremen and Darmstadt take on Borussia Mönchengladbach.
All right, welcome back. You just got the fixtures of the German Bundesliga. Well, remember, games are going down this weekend. Remember, I told you earlier that in the German Bundesliga, it's going to be Bayern versus Bayern Leverkusen is the battle between the number 1 and number 2 in Germany. Now let's move on this morning, and we talk about the Benfica midfielder Christian Chebe celebrating the club's Portuguese Super Cup success. The Eagles fought off strong challenge from Sporting Lisbon 3-0 penalties in the three-linear contest after the regulation time ended in a draw. The 22-year-old featured in all of Super Falcons' 4 games at the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. Now let's talk about one man called the Idol himself of the Italian Serie A.
The cross in the middle, and Osimhen! He draws Napoli level. He finally gets a goal in front of his adoring fans here at the Maradona. Much better from Napoli. He keeps it low. Osimhen! For 2 weeks in a row, he scores twice. And Napoli come back from a goal down to lead against Udinese on 63 minutes.
Okay, we're talking about Victor Osimhen, the man Idol himself, who has been banging goals, where he met the highest goal scorer last season, also winning the Scudetto with Napoli. Well, let's talk about this man this morning. After the Ballon d'Or nomination he got a few days ago, the Super Eagles have also congratulated this man. The Super Eagles have congratulated Victor Osimhen following his nomination for the 2023 FIFA Best Player Awards. Osimhen was nominated after an exciting year for club and country. He was the top scorer in the Serie A in the 2022-2023 season with 26 goals and 4 assists in 32 matches, steering Napoli to their 3rd Serie A title. He was also the top scorer in the AFCON 2023 qualifiers with 10 goals in 6 matches. Well, Osimhen was nominated for the awards alongside Lionel Messi, Erling Haaland, Kivkak, Kvaratskhelia, Kylian Mbappe, Julian Alvarez, Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Declan Rice, Ike Gundogan, Marcelo Brozovic, and Rodri. Well, talking about the tweets coming from the Super Eagles, they took to their formerly Twitter handle to salute the 24-year-old striker, saying, "Idol nominated again. Congratulations to Victor Osimhen." Well, he's also in the running for the 2023 Ballon d'Or Award.
In the week 4 of the Italian Serie A, Lazio will be the guest of Juventus, while former champions Inter Milan go face-to-face with AC Milan, and Genoa tackles defending champions Napoli all on Saturday. On Sunday in Italy, Cagliari will lock horns with Udinese. Monza battles Lecce as Frosinone faces Sassuolo. Fiorentina goes head-to-head with Atalanta as struggling Empoli faces Jose Mourinho's AS Roma at the Stadio Olimpico. Meanwhile, 2 Monday night games will see Salernitana battle Torino and Verona tackle Bologna.
Okay, now let's talk about the English Premier League. We've got 1 more minute to go and start what is going down on the show this morning. Now, before we go to the English Premier League, Italy defender Leonardo Bonucci said that he will take legal action against the former club Juventus after reported fallout with manager Massimiliano Allegri led to his recent exit from the club. Bonucci, who spent 12 years in Turin over 2 spells, was left out of Allegri's squad for the United States preseason tour and home friendlies prior to the Serie A opener on August 20. Well, for the English Premier League, let's look at the fixtures going down. But before the fixtures, well, we are getting an update that Jadon Sancho is training away from Manchester United first team after he refused to apologize to manager Erik ten Hag. Well, we still need to know where and when this whole brouhaha will end.
English Premier League games enter week 5 this weekend with 7 games going down on Saturday. Liverpool will be without the service of suspended captain Virgil van Dijk when they host Wolves at the Anfield. Aston Villa will take on Crystal Palace as Londoners Fulham host Luton Town. Manchester United battles hard-fighting Brighton. Tottenham host Sheffield United. Manchester City trade tackles with West Ham United in London, with Newcastle United hoping to bounce back from a treble of defeats when they take on Brentford at St James Park. On Sunday, Bournemouth will face Chelsea, while Arsenal take on Everton at the Goodison Park, while Nottingham Forest await Burnley at the City Ground on Monday night.
Okay, welcome back. The first question on the show this morning is: mention 3 players in Bayern Munich. Mention 3 players in Bayern Munich squad this season. Well, if you can get that, then you walk away with 1,000 naira cash. 1,000 naira cash. Mention 3 players in the Bayern Munich squad this season. I'll go on a break, and when I come back, remember number to call 0909888939 or 0912-222-2939. Tolu, I'm not asking you.
Omo, our eye don't see way for this cash palava. As conductor they shout.
As it enter, so enter with your change.
Market women go dey holla.
I beg, this somebody don't say, I no fit collect now.
Supermarket people go dey tell you say.
Okay, we don't get change. I beg, use and take sweet now.
When you come see that better yama roasted fish with all the hungry you since and come.
I no carry my wallet come out too.
See, life not supposed hard like this, so now make all of us for Nigeria they pay for everything with Momo. Dial *671# or download the new Momo app. Make you follow enjoy this better life. Momo, better than cash.
Dynamic Pillars Montessori International Schools, Ibadan, the latest admirable, attractive, and acceptable Montessori schools in Ibadan City with global standard of teaching, unique learning aids, and world-class academic facilities in a serene environment. Wow! Few students in a class with all conveniences, parent and guidance. Dynamic Pillars is the best place where your dearest child can have the best educational legacy. The school has the best set of professional teachers with brilliant and effective educational activities such as Montessori skills, smart helping game clinic, vocabulary development, arts, crafts and design, diction and communication, French, music and game language mechanics, indoor and outdoor games, and lots more. Available classes are crèche, daycare, preschool, after school, primary and secondary school classes from JSS1. Entrance examination on request. Enroll your child now at Dynamic Pillars Montessori International Schools, New Garage Bus Stop at Pata or First Gate, Owode Estate at Pata, Ibadan. Telephone 080-2342-1126. Dynamic Pillars Schools. Your child deserves the best.
News, sports, entertainment. Top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
After days off for FIFA window break, league games resume across Europe. In the Spanish La Liga Week 5 fixtures, Rayo Vallecano will face Alaves on Friday, while on Saturday Cadiz will visit Athletic Club. Valencia lock horns with Atletico Madrid as Homer Celta Vigo faces Mallorca and champions Barcelona plays Real Betis. On Sunday, Getafe will battle it out with Osasuna, Las Palmas visits Sevilla, as Valencia takes on Almeria at home. Former champions Real Madrid faces Real Sociedad and Granada plays Girona on Monday night.
Okay, welcome back. Now let's go straight to the game this morning. If you're ready, 5,000 naira cash on ground. But let's start with this more. This very simple question. Mention three players, just three players in Bayern Munich squad. Just three players in Bayern Munich squad. Well, remember, one player moved from Tottenham Hotspur to Bayern. Yes. Don't mention Sadio Mane because he has left the Bayern. He has left Bayern Munich. So 0909-888-9939 or 0912-222-2939. This is not a social media thing, no. Just call, get the question right, and send me your account number, and we'll transfer. Well, Duke Pereira, did you say young striker 9? Good morning. I hope the question is not meant for people like me because I can mention all the Bayern full team. Let's go. If you're good to go, then we run this. Okay, yeah, Tolu is here this morning. Tolu, how you doing? Good morning to you.
I'm very fine.
I'm not asking you the question, right?
If you ask me that question, your money is going.
What's the law? Okay, so let's start with the German Bundesliga this morning. If you look at the way the table stands right now in Germany, and if there's going to be a change on the log, Bayern is second behind Bayern Leverkusen, and the game is going down tonight. If you have to look at the way the table stands and what may surely happen, look at the two teams. They are the only team. They are the only two teams in the German Bundesliga yet to lose a game after 3 matches. Where do you think this will swing?
I think if Leverkusen is going to be very serious, which they are, I don't think they'll give Bayern a chance because they might go to play out the way Arsenal did last season. But just that we know Arsenal messed up at the end, but
you don't have to bring Arsenal matter here. Some people will be crying, but there's no problem.
But with the way things are going, they won't give Bayern Munich a chance. Leverkusen all the way.
Leverkusen all the way, and looking at goals scored so far by Bayern Leverkusen, they've been able to score 11 goals and conceded just 3. And for Bayern Munich, they've scored 9 goals and conceded 2 so far. And well, this is a battle, so that's likely going to be so meaningful. What you're saying now, Bayern Leverkusen is going to maintain the #1 spot on the log by weekend. Okay, that is what Tolu is saying. Well, if you want to do the needful, you know what to do. For those of you who put your money where your mouth is, you know what I'm saying, right? Okay, now going to the continent this morning, the CAF Champions League qualification. Bama Muru will be up against Mamelodi Sundowns of South Africa in the CAF Confederations Cup. Dreams of Ghana will take on Cologne, as Sar of Guinea will be up against Academia de Fard of Ivory Coast, as the Libyan side Al Hilal Benghazi will take on Rwanda's Ryan Sports. Remember, the CAF Super Cup is also going down, where Al Ali will take on USM Algiers. Now we'll move on this morning, looking at the situation right there in England, in the English Premier League. I'm talking about Jadon Sancho. You saw that story. There was meant to be, a meeting between Jadon Sancho and Erik ten Hag so far, and the latest update is that Jadon Sancho trained away from the team yesterday, meaning he refused to apologize to Erik ten Hag. And part of the things Erik ten Hag made it clear was that you have to apologize. Remember the statement of Erik ten Hag saying that this man is not ready, not showing full commitment. The reason he did not play against Arsenal before going on break, which Manchester United lost 1-3, right? 3-1. For Jadon Sancho, do you think this whole problem will end very soon and he can still get a starting shirt? Or this man has already made up his mind? He's not the first player that will do such. And if he's going to also leave, go back to Germany or move on to Spain or go to Saudi Arabia in January.
But I feel since he's considering his career, he should just apologize because he's his manager, obviously. He's there for a reason. It's his head. We know managers can be very annoying at times. Even though we know Ronaldo had an issue with the manager when he was in Manchester United. But he should just consider his career and don't let all this thing distract him.
Maybe it's also about the money. When you buy a player with such amount of money, that gets into a player's head.
Yeah, I guess, but you just have to look at things that are around this situation. It's not just the money now. You should look at his stand. Sancho is not just a side player. He's one of Manchester's major players, so you should not just let that get into his head.
Well, can we really say that Sancho is like one of the key players in Manchester United, most especially with the way Erite Hag, picks his team. Hello, good morning. Okay, we lost that call. 0909888939 or 0912222939. Now let's move on to Arsenal this morning. Maybe we were expecting some changes, but before that time, not really a good one coming from Real Madrid this morning, where Spanish police arrested 3 Real Madrid youth players on Thursday for allegedly disturbing distributing a sexual video featuring a minor at a time of heightened tension around sexist behavior in Spanish soccer. Remember what happened to the Spanish FA president, planting a kiss and, the whole drama. Now, the players who are not minors were later released after a court decision and after the data on their mobile phones was seized. Police said in a statement. Earlier Thursday, the club confirmed a player for their reserve team, Castilla, and the 3 players for the club's third team, Real Madrid C, gave evidence to Spanish police over the sharing of a private video on WhatsApp. Now going straight to Arsenal this morning, the chief executive Vanai Venkateshman will leave the club next summer. Venkateshman has been with the Premier League team for 14 years in different roles. Venkateshman has held numerous positions at Arsenal, including managing director and chief commercial officer. He became chief executive in 2020. Now let's talk about Kai Walker. He also was about moving to Bayern during the summer transfer window, but now he has extended his contract with the Premier League European champions, right, until 2026. The 33-year-old who had a spell out of favor last spring and was left out of the starting lineup for the Champions League final in June was linked with a move to Bayern in the summer. Walker had entered the final year of his existing deal, but the England international ultimately decided to stay put. Was he scared of moving out of England to make him stay back? Because if you want to play under Pep Guardiola, you have to give in 100.1%. If you
175%, he's like a perfectionist. He doesn't like slacking.
So, well, for Kai Walker, he has to just stay back and make sure that he gets everything right. And we're getting updates about that. João Palhinha, his new contract with which ties the midfielder to Craven Cottage until 2028 does not have a release clause in it. So if you want to put your money on him. And finally, Arsenal captain Martin Odegaard is in advanced talks over a new contract, while key defender Ben White is set to open formal talks over an extension. Now let's talk about Victor Osimhen as we wrap up this morning. Well, remember, from Ballon d'Or nomination to FIFA Best Player Award nomination. Now, look at the players in that category. Lionel Messi, Haaland, Kvaratskhelia, Kylian Mbappe, Julian Alvarez, Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Declan Rice, Ilkay Gundogan, Marcelo Brozovic, and Rodri. Remember Lionel Messi, with the World Cup he won. Kvaratskhelia winning this corner with Napoli. Kylian Mbappe, just the French League on. Julian Alvarez won the FIFA World Cup. Kevin De Bruyne won the UEFA Champions League, Premier League. Won treble. Same as Bernardo Silva. Declan Rice won the UEFA. That's the third tier of the Champions League. That's the Conference League. Ilkay Gundogan won the treble. Marcelo Brozovic got to the final with Inter Milan, and Rodri with winning the treble. So, do you think Osimhen stands a better chance here? But some people already say that you just forget the Ballon d'Or, but at least just a recognition.
Yeah. He might not really get the Ballon d'Or, but still, it's an achievement. A Nigerian player getting nominated in the position. You can see that, okay, these guys are putting in their best. They are seeing talent, and we know that Osimhen is a very great guy. But very soon, if he keeps at it, I'm sure he will rise up to the rank of them, Erling Haaland and the rest.
Okay, no Cristiano Ronaldo here. All right, but let's just wait if Osimhen and Jello at the end of the day. Well, this is Fuse Young John Jello. Do you not go anywhere? Because we move to the other side of the show. We'll look at headlines on the pages of Nigerian newspapers. My 5K in my pocket. Thank God it's Friday. We go turn up. Like what I say, we say, keep doing sports and stay safe.
Me and my chica, they chill with the sakpa. I'm Bukata, for the matter. Eruku, for the zanga. Now you give me liberty, oh. Call it freedom, I dey talk life, oh London. And I go chop until the kingdom come. I do better do my I do better for Oba. Now you give me the package, so make nobody come de buga. When I do titi kati, they dancing, they chose you. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Bami konyo, bami kiolo. Mura casa amigos, aji no moto, no cello, cello, what's cello, cello. Story, oh. Allah. Been on the bench, I've been waiting for Oluwa to come activate me. Also, my boy, don't biggie man. I wish you mommy can see me now. Fine lady, oh, I'm in now. They won't call me, move to me now. I do baby, do my thing. Now you give me the package, nobody gon' dey buga. When I do tikati, then they dance, on Josie, oh.
nílùú Ìbàdàn. Solutions 93.9 FM.
We raise the spotlight on the different headlines of our national dailies.
This government, apart from giving that minimum wage of 30,000, which was a 6% rise.
We bring to you in-depth analysis on the major stories making the rounds.
And the CSOs to INEC account for 400 billion naira spent on general elections.
Interviews with political and government stakeholders.
There was a big push on export. We consume a lot. We need to be an economy that an export engine, and we need to be a production.
Every weekday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on the Remedy Dial, Solutions 93.9 FM. Welcome to From the Dailies with Favor, Dapo, Laffy, and Victory. Let's talk about the state of the nation. Your voice matters.
News, sports, entertainment, top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
It's a beautiful Friday morning right here on the Remedy Dial Solutions 93.9. Of course, the time is 33 minutes gone past the hour of 8, and you are welcome to From the Dailies, where we take a look at some of the stories that made the front pages of our Nigerian newspapers, been the spotlight on major burning issues, and of course receive feedbacks from you as well. My name is Victory Richard.
Thank God it's Friday. My name is OLDAPO Kunubi. Victory, you're looking smashing hot this morning.
Appreciate that.
Like
Thank you
that.
very much.
Is it hot?
Yes, fedora hat.
Okay, that's good. Nice one. If you know Victory, if you just believe.
Story.
build the award-winning victory. All right, so I have with me the Nation and the Punch newspaper this morning. Different headlines. Some about Nigeria's economy. We also look at what happened yesterday, talking about the collapse of the power grid, which gradually has been coming back, because the report we got yesterday from IBEDC was that there was restoration of the power grid around a few minutes to 12 o'clock in Oyo State. In Ibadan. But in Lagos, the Eco Electricity Distribution Company also gave their updates around after 12. So, but since the restoration here in this part of Ibadan, the power has not been that fully back. Yes. So if you have such issues, well, let us know what is happening in your vicinity based on power supply.
All right, we're streaming live on Facebook as well as YouTube at Solutions 939 FM. Would implore that you join in on the conversation, watching, liking, commenting as we talk about these stories this morning. I'll be taking stories from the Nigerian Tribune and the Vanguard newspaper. You can also send in messages via WhatsApp and regular text to 0904 422 2939. Also on Fridays, we usually give avenues for open mic session, so you get to react to any story of interest to you. The numbers to do that will be 0909 888 9939 or 0912 222 2939. Let's get right into the papers. This morning we start off with the Vanguard newspaper with the story on business. CBN drives investment for rehabilitation of moribund ports. Find that story on page 19 of the Vanguard newspaper. Farmers headers clashes. Committee recommends creation of livestock ministry. Delta rep sit. Appeal court sacks. Ilumelu declares LP candidate winner. Find that story on page 12. Olu of worry ends protests by Securies. One-party state will resist APC's plot, PDP LP. Illegal toll, IGP orders CPs to dismantle unauthorized checkpoints, arrest violators. Find that story on page 9. Tinubu sacks FRS boss, Mohammed Nami names Adedeji new chairman. And now to the biggest story on the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Outrage as national power grid collapses twice in 6 hours. Palliatives address root of poverty, not symptoms, Catholic bishop tells federal government. And lastly in sport, Nottingham Forest asks Dinas from EPL squad. These are the stories that made the front page of the Vanguard this morning.
You're talking about Dennis, right? But this man has been in the news since he joined, not even in England, even while he was in Germany. He's got attitude issues, but let's move away from that now. Let's go straight to the Nation newspaper this morning. Looking at the top headlines we have. Adedeji replaces Nami as FIRS chair. Agency boss on terminal leave. We won't allow one-party rule, says PDP. Makinde appoints 29-year-old as commissioner. Governors get federal government push on mass food production. Going to the yellow and red headline from the Nation newspaper this morning. Clashes. Ganduje panel seeks creation of livestock ministry. Now looking at the banner headline this morning. Defense headquarters. Police turn hit on all thieves, economic saboteurs. And two riders to this headline, 1 million liters of stolen crude seized in 1 week. Wow. IG orders dump down on fire firearms production. IGP orders damp down on firearms production. And we have this one, how to prevent another national grid collapse. TCN battled blackout for hours. And I know we got a story of the Minister of Power, that is Adebayo Adelabu, giving reports yesterday concerning the collapse of the power grid. Although for over a year we've not gotten something like that, but now it has started or it has returned. Now, Tinubu, we will create wealth for all Nigerians. Right after that headline says, President hails advisor Wike for hitting the ground running as FCT minister. I take that right there again. President hails advisor Wike for hitting the ground running as FCT minister. Okay. The last set of headlines here. Ajulo Falano's wife, Afe Babalola's daughter, 66 others make SANS lists. This and more you can get from the Nation newspaper this morning.
All right, away from the Nation, let's now move over to the Nigerian Tribune, starting with this story. I am not president to give excuses. Tinubu speaking there. Federal Road, Sumahi announces availability of 431 billion naira for dualization. Tinubu directs FRSC boss to go on pre-retirement leave. Nationwide blackout averted as power grid is restored. Makinde approves Oebola as new assaying. IGP assures peaceful off-season Guba polls in Imo orders. Nigeria, Cuba to deepen strategic relationships. Shatima. These are the stories on the pages or the front page of the Nigerian Tribune.
Okay, going to the Punch newspaper. This morning, electricity consumers slam FG over power grid collapses. And the next headline from the CAP, manufactured goods import gulp $6.7 billion in 6 months. Report. Tinubu orders NAMI's retirement, appoints Adedeji FIRS chair. And the banner headline from the Punch newspaper this morning, Nigeria's debt jumps by 75% in 3 months, hits 87 trillion naira. Let me touch my head again. Now going to the riders, today's headline this morning, how CBN loans to FG, new debt, promissory notes raise public debt by 37 trillion naira between April and June. And the second rider says Tinubu's reforms will improve debt sustainability. DMO assures Nigerians as latest figure overshoots agency projection by 10 trillion naira. And we have the front page picture this morning of representatives from the East. And this headline says Tinubu promises to tackle poverty, complete East-West road. Other set of headlines here. Alake has provided qualitative leadership for Egba, Anglican primate. NURTW president, 21 others arrested for alleged killing. Zero allocation. Ogun LG chair impeached, lampooned Abiodun. So it's like the southwest states have been in the news for the past few days, from Odo to Ogun. And to including Lagos. Remember the commissioner nominees, some dropped by the House of Assembly, but later, we have the new sets. At the end of the day, they got, Babajide Sanwo-Olu got the approval of the State House of Assembly, and they got sworn in 2 days ago. But now let's go straight to what is burning this morning. Remember, it is more of Nigeria's education system. Remember that we've been getting different feedback from different public universities, protest in Unilag, fee hike in Obafemi Awolowo University, and Serap has also called on the management of the institution to revert the school, the increase, to revert the school fees to the normal price. Now, it is about the federal government also saying that, yes, they will also give institutions autonomy to control and, seek for funds, which may mean that schools would surely decide to increase their tuition. But the ASU president, Professor Shodeke, spoke yesterday and cleared the air concerning autonomy for public varsities, which is the responsibility of the federal government.
My dear, go and check the university autonomy law that was signed by President Olusegun Obasanjo. That defines what university autonomy is in Nigeria. And that's what we say to implement. On how to check how universities run is also well established in that law. You can check. The finances of the university should be run by the finance and a committee of the council. Two, the law also indicates that the federal government, the account of the university will be audited externally at the end of every year. The law also indicates that the university also go and present its budget to the National Assembly. And then every 5 years, the president, the visitor who appoint the council will send a visitation team to go to the university and see how the account and the university have been run in 5 years.
Well, that's the president of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, Professor Emmanuel Shodeke, talking about the autonomy and what the federal government should do. Remember, Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Mahman, was quoted to have said that the federal government will initiate new ways of funding tertiary education by granting full autonomy to universities to explore new sources of financing the activities. Okay, now let's move on this morning. Coming to Oyo State. Well, yesterday we had the update of Governor Seyi Makinde appointing Commissioner for Health, and same as Youth and Sports. We have Dr. Oluwaserimi Ajetumobi as Commissioner for Health and Miss Wasila Tolagoke as Commissioner for Youth and Sports. Well, he made it clear that this is call to service and not about celebration. But let's also listen to Mr. Governor, who spoke more.
To be aware, health is one of the pillars of this administration. Under Commitment 1.0, we work towards resolving the issue of the infrastructure deficit in our healthcare system. Well, I can say we solved that problem about 50 to 60%. Perhaps people may say that is not bad. But there's more to be done. And also, if you look at Oyo State Roadmap for Sustainable Development, 2023 to 2027, you also see promises that we have made in there. And for the Commissioner for Youth and Sports, Ms. Wasilat Adefemi, well, you have your work cut out for you already. As the youngest member of the cabinet, but we hope to see you bring the vibrancy and the drive of our young people, the drive that they are known for. We look forward to you bringing that to the table. We have the Lakeland Salami Sports Complex, Adamasimba. So maintaining that facility should be a priority. We also want to complete the second phase of that project, which will provide facilities for other sports.
Well, Governor Seyi Makinde speaking there while swearing in the two commissioners into his cabinet. Well, Victory, you run Solutions Clinic, right? I almost said Doctor's Clinic. Now, Oyo State has a commissioner for health. I mean, if you had to set up a plan or, put your expectations, what are you expecting from a new commissioner? And the expectations of residents of the state?
Well, I must say that health is very imperative to everyone, not just the people of Oyo State. But since we're talking home, I must say well done to, the governor for first, commissioning this and making sure that we have someone we can call our Commissioner of Health, someone who I believe is reliable and someone who the people of Oyo State can depend on when it concerns improving the infrastructural development as it concerns health facilities in Oyo State, which has been the bane of conversation, especially with some of the PHCs that we have in Oyo State. There's been a lot of discussions around, improvement when it concerns the facilities in there, because for the common man, these are your first results when it concerns health matters. They wouldn't go to private hospitals. They won't go to private hospitals rather because they can't afford to pay, the demands that comes with that. So for the PHCs, the primary health centers that we have, you want to go there and seek and make your health concerns known. But the challenge is, I've been there once and I wanted to run a couple of tests, and there were excuses of, we don't run this test here, we don't do this here. There were a lot of, complaints and oversight. But with this commission, I believe with the oversight that we've had and experienced thus far, we're hoping to see new developments. We're hoping to see, creation of more PHCs as well in Oyo State, not just in Ibadan, because it's bigger than Ibadan, right? Your responsibility, should swing into other local government areas of the state, especially the ones that are not even looked at or looked upon. You want to see development in those areas. We want to see more health awareness campaigns, from female genital mutilation, which is very prevalent in Oyo State and other Southwest region. We want to see conversations around tuberculosis. We want to see conversations around malaria. Some of these diseases that have been trivialized. We want to see more awareness being raised in that
diphtheria
regard
as well.
Absolutely. So we're hoping to see more media partnerships to ensure that these campaigns would reach to the grassroots levels. So yeah, but congratulations to Dr. Oluwasemi.
Oluwaserimi.
Oh, Sherimi.
Just say Dr. Ajetumobi.
Oluwaserimi, congratulations
I
to
like that. You got
Doctor,
that.
of
You got
course.
that. You got that. You got that, Chacha.
Well done, and yes, let's hope and see what happens afterwards.
Okay, now talking about charting the costs forward, also setting up you're planning to have a mandate for the new commissioners, that of Oluwaserimi Ajetumobi and that of the Commissioner for Youth and Sports, Miss Wasilat Olagoke. Well, for that of the Commissioner for Youth and Sports, which is also my field, there have been a lot of discussions concerning the newly renovated Lagos Salami Stadium project in Ibadan. There, yes, the first phase has been completed. The second phase is what a lot of people have been talking about. You look at the indoor sports halls, activities to also go on after football at the Lagos Salami Sports Complex. I think the only facility that is being used more is that of the basketball court and maybe the tennis court. But we are also looking at the situation where we have the swimming pool. And if you could remember, the indoor sports, that was the last time, I think there was a fitness event that went down in Ibadan last year. And that was the only time, that hall was also used for, major events. But we want major events to happen in Ibadan. We want major events to happen at the Lagos Salami Sports Complex. Not only Lagos Salami Sports Complex, but you look at other stadia across, the states, not only in Ibadan. Because now you see people from Okomosho, people from Shaki, people from Igboho, come out to say that what other developments. And what I also say, I give thumbs up to Governor Seyi Makinde, while speaking yesterday at the Secretariat, was that the commissioner should not only focus on sports, because it is youth and sports. So look at ways to say you want to improve, or your state youth in this the face of tech and education. So meaning there should be collaboration with other ministries, like Ministry of Education, because you look at ways where you can also give scholarship to those who are focusing on sports. I mean, if you go to US, for example, you see those who are merging education with sports. And we've seen a lot of movies where some people, not that they want to, go study, but because they know that there is a scholarship if you are good in sports. So, and it helps them in both ways. So, for the Commissioner for Youth and Sports, not only focusing on shooting stars, because when you say sports in Ibadan or in Oyo State, the first thing is Shooting Star Sports Club of Ibadan. Now it is focusing on how sports can also be developed from the grassroots. You look at catching them young project. You look at schools. I mean, there are a lot of schools out there that you see it's just only flat. They don't have sports facilities. However, how do you now pick this young ones and nurture them, go for events? We know then for inter-house sports, we know a lot of schools that yes, they go for principal corps, they go for different events. At the end of the day, we know some of them that also represent Nigeria, the state at the national level, and also represent at the continental and the global showpiece. So there's a lot for these two commissioners, to face as they're going in. Also for the people in the ministries. Some people, they are called, they want to sabotage the efforts of the commissioners. It is about teamwork. If you have, because, for Wasila Tolagoke, she's the youngest commissioner. And there's another thing that we also need to look at here. If it is more of looking at, is it about the age, or is it about because someone is young, that is why you are a commissioner for youth and sports? We also need to look at the experience here. Because, for example, if I say, okay, Victory, because if I'm going to appoint you because I know you have interest in entertainment and the likes, okay, I want to make you a commissioner for culture and tourism. You still have to work with some people. You need to bring some people on board as your advisors to see that you also succeed. Now, for health, it is more of how these people can work together to make sure that the Omitutu 2.0, like what the governor said, comes to reality. But let's just wait and see and do we say, how many months do we give these commissioners to say, okay, we can start, reviewing the activities?
Well, first off, let me even start off by commending the governor for appointing a woman in that category for the Commissioner for Youth and Sports.
Including that of the House?
Yes. No, for the woman particularly, I'm more impressed by that, because that's a rarity that we'll see in government. Because for a lot of minds, when you talk about sports, the first gender that comes to mind is a man, as opposed to a woman. So I think that's a very impressive digression from the stereotypes that we see in things like that. So well done, Mr. Governor. That's really commendable. I saw pictures of her inauguration yesterday, and videos with the governor. It was very, very delightful. Governor Makinde, who defended his appointment of Ms. Olagoke as the youngest commissioner in his cabinet, said the aim is to fulfill the promise of increasing the number of women serving in his cabinet to 4 under the Omitutu 2.0 compared to just 2 that he had in his first administration. You see? That's an excellent governor. Well done, Mr. Governor. Back to another thing that you said that I think it's very important that we talk about is, not relegating the youth part. It's youth and sports. And more often than not, you see that there's more focus.
Let's bring in Regina Ajilokun here. She's the spokesperson for IBADC, talking about the power grid that collapsed yesterday and what Oyo State, what is happening in Ibadan as well. Good morning, Mrs. Regina Ajilokun. Thank you for joining us this morning.
You're great this morning.
Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to talk to you. So, let's just quickly update residents of Ibadan this morning. Remember, yesterday the power grid collapsed, and I was asking the time. It got resuscitated. And what is the latest development this morning?
Thank you very much. For now, feeders are being picked. The 33 are being picked gradually by TCN. Now, when there's a collapse like that, you don't pick all at once. You do it in sequence, one after the other. So we're still, I think, as at yesterday, English and one other part was not. Okay. The load was not picked. It had not been restored. But it's a gradual. By this morning, everything will be done.
Oh, okay. By this one, everything will be okay. This is this is 8:58. We got that update for that of Lagos yesterday. I had to also make confirmation. But what do you think? I mean, you were telling me about your engineers. What I don't know. I mean, they will surely have some technicalities, from their own end. But what did they really say happened, and how it can be averted?
Can I please come again?
What did your engineers say happened to the power grid?
Now, system collapse does not come from the distribution. It starts from Genco and TCM. So that's where the thing started from. It's not up. Once it goes up, power will not get to distribution sector of the value chain. That's what it means. And then when it comes to that, it's something that rarely happens because in the long run, we've not experienced it. And it seems to me something went wrong and then it came on like that. That was why I wanted that if it were difficult, I'd have boss, the technical man, who's an engineer. I'm a spokesperson, I know little about engineering. But these things don't come because of us, it comes because there is a collapse from the national grid, which is Genco. And we at distribution end do not have anything to give people, so everywhere is black, is in the blackout. As I was speaking yesterday, I think the last season, the data changed 33 and industrial. I think we picked up some customers that fell a level before it found that it was normal. So once it happens, like I said earlier, it's something you do. You restore one after the other. So it's CPN that does the restoration. We manage 11 kV lines. So it's CPN that manages 33. So from 330 it comes to 132. From 132 to 33. 33 lines are managed by PCM. So once you put them on, then say it in a layman's context. Once it's on, you'll be able to pick the 11 kV under those 33. That's how it works.
All right. In your experience, what would you say can be done to, mitigate, power outage from the national grid? What do you, because I've seen reasons as dilapidated infrastructure, energy infrastructure, as it were. So, but in your experience, what would you say can be done to ensure that we don't have the reoccurrence of this?
I think, sincerely, we should have decentralized generation. People in Oyo could be able to generate power from Oyo here. They now have to use for it to come from the Shubu or from the B and the likes of others. Only decentralized generation, states have their small generating plants, their generating plants, hydro for people that have dams and can generate. That will ease it because the power will not have to travel that far to get to an end. Because even those of us that manage 11 kV lines, and you find out that a slight fault from one end. Let me take a case study of Fudu that is quite long, behind the Now, if there is a fault at Alomoja, it shifts the whole feeder. So everybody from New Garage down after Creek will be in blackout. I'm part of New Garage. So these are things that if we're able to do. For IBDC, we have started, and we're trusting that very soon the Alomoja injection substation comes to light. It's not an instant cost, so people don't get me wrong. It's a gradual process that you build another injection substation, so power does not travel that far anymore. And then decentralization of generation does a lot, and it will help us to perform better. And then we will reduce downtime even when they are full. Yeah, that's what I think.
Okay, that's a fantastic one.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Madam Regina Jiloku, the spokesperson for IBEDC. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
All right, thank you so much. Well, you just heard that. So, residents of Ibadan just put their mind at rest. So, let's connect with our analyst this morning. Check us out right now. It is 9:03. So, we've got different issues to discuss and break down. Also make sense of. Do not go anywhere.
Solutions 93.9 FM.
We raise the spotlight on the different headlines of our national dailies.
This government, apart from giving that minimum wage of 30,000, which was a 6% rise.
We bring to you in-depth analysis on the major stories making the rounds.
And the CSOs to INEC account for 400 billion naira spent on general elections.
Interviews with political and government stakeholders.
There was a big push on export. We consume a lot. We need to be an economy that an export engine, and we need to be a production.
Every weekday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on the Remedy Dial, Solutions 93.9 FM. Welcome to From the Dailies with Favor, Dapo, Laffy, and Victory. Let's talk about the state of the nation. Your voice matters.
News, sports, entertainment, top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Alright, you're listening to the Remedy Dial Solutions 93.9. Of course, this is from the dailies. We just read you the headlines that made the front pages of our Nigerian newspapers. And right now we'll be speaking to our analyst who joins us virtually to give analysis to some of these stories. We're glad to have you join us, Comrade Ayodiji.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. How are you feeling today?
It's a Friday. I'm in a big mood, and you expect so too.
I see. But I mean, you're in a Friday mood, but unfortunately for some people in Nigeria, they may not be able to get cold drink to celebrate the weekend because of the power grid that collapsed yesterday, but got resuscitated. But I mean, according to Mrs. Regina Ajiloko, who's the spokesperson for IBUDC, saying that it's a gradual process. Some got restored yesterday, and there will be a continuation today. But I mean, we've been getting different reactions on different headlines this morning. If you look at the Punch newspaper, saying that stakeholders are heating, electricity consumers slam FG over power grid collapses. When do we stop, or when are we getting to a stage where we won't be getting this headline or even these issues having a collapse of power grid in Nigeria?
Well, I think the processes have begun regarding resolving the issue of power in Nigeria. I spoke to a senior general manager on transmission, an elderly man, several times in interviews. And he said, yes, we always have this kind of system collapse, that we do regular transmission of power. Now let's take it like this. What happened yesterday, the day before yesterday, was attributed to problems in Kainji. There was a fire outbreak and all of that. That means all the power. When I say we have a radio transmission, it means if you are transmitting from Kaduna, you're transmitting from Jeba, you're transmitting from Mina. If anything happens along the line, around Mokwa, all the power that is being transmitted will be cut off there. In simple terms is that we transmit a straight, we do a straight line transmission, there are no options. That is what it means. Everything shuts down when anything happens along that transmission line. And we're talking about a Nigeria of 1 million square kilometers. That is not a smart thing to do. Thankfully, we are in the process of unbundling our power configuration in Nigeria. The president signed a bill to a law. The president signed that too, and of course, the state governments are taking it up. Oyo State has a bill in the State House of Assembly regarding regulation of power. So all of this is ongoing. In fact, one of the guys that was touted to be a minister said he had already developed a 7-year plan that will relieve Nigeria of all these challenges. So it's not going to be a short run. It's not going to happen overnight. I saw the tweets of the Honorable Minister in charge of power, and I said to myself, well, the power cartel, they are welcoming him with a baptism of fire.
Baptism of fire, you call that? Okay. All right. Now, talking about baptism, what should be that baptism for the 2 new commissioners, who got sworn in yesterday by Governor Seyi Makinde? One, the youngest commissioner, that is for youth and sports, and the second female is that of Commissioner for Health.
Yes, I think it is clear this administration has a clearly defined roadmap for governance. It is called Omitutu 2.2 or 2.0. So I think they just should be, quite a number of them returned as honorable commissioners. The new ones should just be indoctrinated through, seminars and retreats, so that they can key into the vision of the administration, how far the administration had gone with Omitutu 1.0 and the additional and the vision and the strategies. It is important that you work as a team, that one commissioner will not come and start doing his own thing in his own ministry. It has to be an integrated vision, integrated development, all working towards one goal, clearly defined. I believe in Omitutu 2.0, and working every action, every thought, every step is geared collectively towards achieving that objective, not just some haphazard individual actions. That is it. Key them in. Let them understand the vision and let them key into it. And especially the strategies, very important.
All
very
right.
important.
Let's talk about the IGP who just ordered the immediate dismantling of unauthorized checkpoints on highway. Now, we've seen stories and, heard of stories over the years of how checkpoints were being used as points for robbery and other, menace in the society. How do you react to this?
You see, every IGP comes and says roadblocks are being removed, and we know the story that usually occurs. They are sooner than later back. Some call those checkpoints. That's not how. Let me tell you one thing. The police in this country do a human job. They are engaged in a human job. I find it quite scary that not every policeman in Nigeria is equipped with a walkie-talkie. You see, I don't know what a policeman is going to do without a walkie-talkie. Communication, calling for backup. Even if you are in that location, you're going to be overwhelmed. Calling for backup. You are not connected to the next policeman. That is dangerous for any police system in the world. And so that is just the number one. You see them with babies. What are you going to do with robbers, criminals, with sophisticated weapons and sophisticated modus operandi? That is not good enough. Communication is basic. But the issue of the checkpoint, we all know, we are not unaware that those checkpoints too also catches, when the desire is to occur, catches criminals. But some of those checkpoints have called toolkit. You understand? Believe you me, we have had people say that those checkpoints is where they get funding from to run their police, what do you call them, the divisional police offices. So, we know the essence of that. The IGP can say whatever he wants. Sooner than later, those roadblocks will be back where they are. It's as simple as that. But believe you me, it is not nice not to have roadblocks. It is checkpoints. I'll call them checkpoints. If they have enough operational vehicles, they don't have to be blocking and checking. They can be in their car, parked in strategic locations, or moving around. And if there's any crime committed, they can be called upon, they can be alerted, and swing into action. I've seen them do that in Oyo State. These vehicles that the governor bought, you see them parked in strategic locations. Not many people have this application. There was a burglary around my location about a year or so ago. And when that application was activated, believe you me, Operation Bus Vehicles, 3 of them suffered in just about 5 minutes or thereabouts. So they can be placed in those strategic areas. They don't have to be blocking the road and checking the people and asking people what they ought not to ask them. And, this is crazy stories we have had. Extortion, asking, even carrying POS. That is scandalous.
Corey, you made a very important point with the walkie-talkie, because that would be very helpful, especially in handling cases. So I think that should be up for consideration. Thank you very much for being a part of the conversation this morning, comrade. We do appreciate your time.
Always a pleasure and a privilege to be with you any day, anytime. Thank you very much.
So try and get something cold. Try and get something cold. It's a Friday morning. Right?
I already did something hot.
Okay. Get something cold in the evening. No problem.
All right. Thank you, my dear comrade brothers.
All
God
right.
bless you.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye. Okay, comrade. Ayode Jadishokwe speaking there. Okay, let's go on a break, and when we come back, we'll read messages and say our BYs.
Our eye don't see way for this cash palava. As conductor dey shout.
As you enter, so enter with your change.
Market women go dey holla.
I beg, this one don't I no fit collect now.
Supermarket people go dey tell you say,
okay, we don't get change. I beg, use and take sweet now.
When you come see that better yama roasted fish with all the hungry you since in come.
I no carry my wallet come out too.
See, life not suppose hard like this, so now make all of us for Nigeria they pay for everything with Momo. Dial *671# or download the new Momo app. Make you follow enjoy this better life. Momo, better than cash.
Junior, get inside. You don't want to let mosquitoes bite you, do you? I cannot treat malaria again, no.
Mama Junior, children will play. It is you that should keep your environment clean in order not to breed mosquitoes.
Even after netting the whole house and sleeping inside the insecticide-treated net?
Of course. Don't you know the state of your environment is as important as inside your house? Yes, when you get rid of stagnant water at every space mosquitoes can breed, be rest assured, Junior can play all he wants.
My friend, the honorary doctor, I will do just that, so that my family can say bye-bye to mosquitoes.
Not just mosquitoes, but malaria.
Together, we can achieve a zero malaria society.
This message is from Solutions 93.9 FM.
News, sports, entertainment, top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
18 minutes gone past the hour of 8. You're listening to the hour of 9, rather. You're listening to Solutions Clinic.
Okay.
Goodness
Yeah,
gracious.
yeah.
You're listening to Solutions 93.9 FM, and of course, this is from the Dailies. We just, of course, listened to the analysis by our analyst this morning regarding some of the stories that made the rounds. And right now, we'll love to hear your reactions to these stories. Of course, the commissioning of the 2 new commissioners in Oyo State. That's the Commissioner of Health and, of course, the Commissioner for Youth and Sports. We also talked about the national grid collapse. That's quite seen mixed reactions, because I've seen a lot of comments saying, oh, we still have power in our area. As a matter of fact, I had power throughout the night. So I guess it was the one that was walked upon. No, yeah, totally. I enjoyed full power access
Mine
throughout the
full.
night till this morning. So I think some areas actually did enjoy the lights. Hence, they did not notice that there was a power grid collapse, right? But we also had, a spokesperson speak in that regard and what is being done to ensure that we have maximum restoration of power in all your state. All right, to be a part of the conversation, of course, you can call into the studio. The numbers are 0909 888 9939 or 0912 2939. You can also send in messages via WhatsApp or regular text to 0904 422 2939. We're reading messages on Twitter as well as, or otherwise known as X, and on Facebook at Solutions939. So do all to jump in on these platforms and lend in your thought, because your voice matters.
Okay, so let's check some comments here this morning. Well, remember, a lot of reaction concerning that. If we can get one or two, remember WhatsApp, SMS 090988899939 or 0912. Okay, that's 0904 4222939. That's for WhatsApp and SMS 0904 4222939. Okay, well, there were a lot of reactions yesterday after the appointment of Zach Adidiji as acting chairman of FIRS, well, a lot of people saying, okay, some saying it is more of Mr. President looking the Southwest way, and well, some saying a deserving appointment. Okay, so now see a comment coming from Femi Rude Boy. Femi Rude Boy saying, our local Yorubas are now in charge. If I hear PIM, okay, don't let us. I mean, we don't have to be. We don't have to look at the ethnic connection here. It's about who can get the job done.
All right, let's look at a few comments this morning. Starting off with Patrick, who says, normally, with the way lights day now, power suppose blow. Okay. You don't like that we have power. Jamil says, as usual, it will be restored soon and collapsed again. The new minister would perfect everything, I believe. Fingers crossed. This is a message from Kadri, and he says, Candle is a bull market for any investor right now. We are in a dark age as the chicken has come home to roast. Hopefully, it won't be chicken suya before the break. Many thieves Owambe. Is this a poem? All right, another message from Ayola says, well, I currently have light in my area. My part is not incorporated into the national grid again. I have had lights since yesterday. Okay, another comment here from Israel says, well, I have had light as an some of you are funny. I've had light as an APC member. The only people facing darkness is obedience. That's a very ridiculous thing to say. What other comments do I have here? All right. Twinny says, in my area, we've got light throughout the night. As at 11:45 p.m., there was light. If the grid collapsed, we shouldn't have light. So what exactly is going on? What are they not telling us? All right, I told you a lot of people are saying they have lights. They have lights. But just as we heard this morning, it was being worked upon yesterday. So it's no surprise that you have lights. I did mention as well that I had lights yesterday. So this is possibly why you have light as well, because they swung into action just immediately after the collapse happened.
Okay, well, let's just gradually, wrap up the show this morning. You have more comments? Say our goodbyes for this week. I mean, it has been an interesting week. With different headlines, reactions, speeches, statements, and the likes. Well, we hope next week will be a more interesting one. Okay, well, my name is OLDAPO Kunubi. Well, I'll still be back this afternoon, 2 to... Is it 2 to 4? Yeah, 2 to 4. I don't know what is happening. I can't just wait to get right. 2 to 4 this afternoon for the Friday show.
All right, well, I hope you have the most wonderful weekend. The last couple of days, Nigerians have been reacting, especially with the demise of Afrobeat singer Mohbad, and it's caused quite a lot of emotional roller coaster for a lot of people. And I love that a lot of people are now asking valid questions. There's now an opera for a conversation on mental health. There's a lot that doesn't need to be swept under the carpet. And I see how people are very reactive in a good way to ensure that proper investigation is being done regarding Mohbad's case and bring to light everything that was hidden.
And those culpable for that. And, talking about mental health, based on research, from from not checking your mental health, and for those who also want to plan to commit suicide, there's a lot to be done. Speak to people, speak out. Well, some people may just be saying, okay, Portable is this, Portable is that. I mean, he said something yesterday when I checked his video. He said, now only if you fight for yourself, you gotta speak out. When you are facing mental stress, speak to people, meet people, tell them what you're going through. And maybe with that, you can also, you will surely survive.
The truth is not, if you've been in that situation, it's not always, especially if you've been a very independent person, it's always a challenge to want to, be vulnerable to others. But like they say, no man is an island. You can't do life alone. We all need people. So if you're dealing with anything internally, you're already killing yourself if you're not voicing out. Because the help that you might need might just be close to you, might just be that neighbor, might just be that friend. I must say that it's also important that you know who you're speaking to. Because more often than not, we have people downplay on people's vulnerability. And that's exactly what happened to Mohbad. Mohbad was speaking up. He was talking about how he's been maltreated, how he's been, treated violently by, some members of his ex-record label, and Nigerians criticize him. Some people labeled him as a drug addict. Sometimes you just need to go deep and find out why these people are voicing the way they're doing. Just like the lady under Olamide's, or the ex artist. No, the ex-artist under Olamide record label. Is that her name?
Yeah, Timmy Vasa, YBNL
Princess. YBNL Princess. That's what I know her as. She's been talking for years. Even yesterday she put out a communique in that regard, just in the defense of what happened to Mohbad. Not to label Olamide as a bad boss, but to talk about what happened in labels, Sometimes you want to go deep and find out, as opposed to just condemning and criticizing these people. Don't undermine someone's voice when the person is trying to be vulnerable to you. The experiences are peculiar to them. You don't know what they're dealing with. So when someone comes to you and speak about how they're down with depression or how someone maltreated them, listen to them, further investigate the matter before you criticize them. That's the only reason the person will want to come out tomorrow and speak up. But if you shut them up at that very point, they won't speak up again. And before you know what's happening, you've heard of a case of another suicide. And we don't want to have that happen in the state anymore. And that's why I also raised it up with the new Commissioner of Youth and Sports. These are conversations we should have. Drug abuse, substance abuse, mental health, depression. We want to see more awareness being raised in this regard so we can have a sane society.
Another thing is, if you want to celebrate someone, celebrate the person when he or she is alive. Celebrate, check on someone today. Maybe someone you notice has not been sending you WhatsApp messages like before, has not been calling like before, has not been talking like before, or you notice that the person has not been, updating his or her status, updating our social media platforms or his social media platform. Just check on 60 seconds, 30 seconds, SMS. That can help. Because, a lot of people have now been celebrating playing mobile song videos and the likes, and even according to research, I think his song is now number 2 on
it's the number 1 album, and on the charts it's number 2, 3, has over 3 songs on the top 10. It's well. My name is Victor Richard. I hope you have a swell weekend.
Okay, this is Pato Rankin. Celebrate me.
If I fail, then go laugh me. Now my mama, now him bath me. Them is excuse, they slap me. Same people when I turn, they go yab me. Alright, tell me where then they run all they also how they try sustain. Every start today, from Ilaja down to Costain. I beg, no carry my blessing run. Today not you, tomorrow fit be my turn. Show me love, no go show me python. We be the same for Oluwa kingdom. So me say, celebrate me. Now when I day alive, appreciate me. Now when I day alive, don't be say when I live this life, you go to fake I'm for my wife. Celebrate me. Now when I day alive, appreciate me. Now when I day alive, don't be say when I live this life, you go to fake I'm for my back. LMO for it, you be big name. If I OD, you be big name. Awari shape, you be big name. My brother Young Dot, you be big name. Onyama Abidi Don, big name. First in Sagila, big name. Ejele Wan, you be big name. Obi Kubana, you be big name. Ato Eze, you be big name. Ben Peters, you be big name. Tom Polo, you be big name. Ochacho Ebelebe, you be big name. Okonjo Iweala, you be big name. Larry Gaga one name, you be big name. Oluwa make me a big name. Make I put all my enemies in big shame. So me say, celebrate me. Now when I day alive, appreciate me. Now when I day alive, don't be say when I live this life, you go to fake I'm for my wife. Celebrate me. Now when I day alive, appreciate me. Now when I day alive, don't be say when I live this life, you go to fake I'm for my back. Give me, waiting I deserve. If I suppose they don't put me for reserve. No go wait till I buy. Before you give me meat pie, Kadenuga, you be big name. Lucky Gardens, you be big name. Kabiesi, Elegushi, you be big name. Obafemi Martins, you be big name. Dami Oloyo, you be big name. Ibrahim Mama, you be big name. Sledge for Ghana, you be big name. Spoy Chukudi, you be big name. Chief Ikuku, you be big name. NASA Research, you be big name. Alfred Emile, you be big name. Charlie Apruka, you be big name. Big Lamb, CP, big name. Imabagi, Billy Boom, you be big name. Afusho Vera, you be big name. Batura Lanka, you be big name. Oluwa Fi, celebrate me. Now when I day alive, appreciate me. Now when I day alive, don't be say when I live this life, you go to fake I'm for my wife. Celebrate me. Now when I day alive, appreciate me. Now when I day alive, don't be say when I live this life, you go to fake I'm for my back. Gemstone still the boss, you don't know. OSA.
Ẹ káàárọ̀ nílùú Ìbàdàn. Solutions 93.9 FM.
Ó jẹ́ ti ká ṣètò ó mọ́gbọ́n wá àti ká gbéròyìn kalẹ̀ bó ṣe rí gẹ́lẹ́ ààrẹ bí ó alábàárò lé o Solutions FM tí ó wà ní àẹ̀gbọ́.
Ẹ̀sàdé fẹ́ni tó tọ́ sí ẹ̀kọ́ ṣọ́wá fẹ́ni tó ga jùlọ ṣe bá wà lárí tọ́jú lọ́wọ́ Solutions FM tí gbogbo wa ní.
Ṣé bá wà lárí tọ́jú lọ́wọ́ Solutions FM bàbá wọn ní.
Solutions 93.9 FM ilé àwẹ̀ ní òkè àdó Ìbàdàn àwa lọ́nà àbáyọ.
Kango la gbóhùn agogo.
Kango lóhùn agogo ṣìkìṣìkì létí ṣẹ̀kẹ̀rẹ̀ wà ní lóhùn títí kó lóhùn agogo lẹ́nu. Kango àràbálẹ̀ ètò tí ó máa mìlú títì ní ìkànnì Solutions 93.9 FM òkè àdó Ìbàdàn. Agogo ìkìlọ̀ lákòókò máa lò fi ṣàlàyé àwọn tó lè mú ewu wá nínú ìrìn àjò wa nípele àkọ́kọ́ tí a pè ní ewu ni. Nígbà kan rí nípele kejì lórí ètò Kango ìwé ìrántí àwọn tó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ nígbà kan rí lá máa ṣíwò tìlù torí tó mọ́gbọ́n wá sọ̀rọ̀ yànjú òní gbẹ̀yìn lórí ètò ẹ tún láǹfààní àti tẹ̀wálàgò san tó kàn ní ṣíṣe nínú ọ̀rọ̀ tá a bá nínà sórí atẹ́gùn. Jímọ̀ yìí ni kẹ́ ẹ tẹ́tí sí wa lórí ètò Kango láago 10 sí 11 òwúrọ̀ pẹ̀lú aṣíwájú apèdègbáyé ààrẹ Táíwò Fákóredé ọmọ ìbò olóbì. Fún ìkéde àti ìpolówó ọjà yín ẹ kàn sí iléeṣẹ́ wa Solutions 93.9 FM òkè àdó Ìbàdàn tàbí kẹ́ ẹ pè ìbò olóbì sórí nọ́mbà yìí 08068580166 08068580166. Kango ètò gbogbo wa ni.
Ó yọ bí ọjọ́ ó tún lálẹ́ wù bí òṣùmàrè sórí ìkànnì Solutions 93.9 FM ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Jímọ̀ ní déédéé aago 4 sí 5 ìrọ̀lẹ́ lẹ́wọ̀n máa pàdé olólùfẹ́ yín pèdèpèdè tó dáńtọ́ Abíọ́dún ọmọ Sàlámì The Yellow Man lórí ètò gbébọ́dì ẹ̀ no dull moment lórí ètò gbébọ́dì ẹ̀ ní Solutions 93.9 FM pẹ̀lú Abíọ́dún ọmọ Sàlámì The Yellow Man ó wà ń bẹ̀ labala àkọ́kọ́ lórí ètò àwọn tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú ọgbà iléèwé wa campuses láwọn àgbéyẹ̀wò labala ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì tó ṣe é rí ìrírí mi labala ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kẹta níbi tá ó ti máa láǹfààní àti sọ ìrírí wa àti àwọn ohun tá a dojúkọ nídìí iṣẹ́ tá a yàn láàyò bẹ́ẹ̀ làwọn ẹ̀bùn gbàmábìínú sì ti wà ń kalẹ̀ fún ìdáhùn sí ìbéèrè ṣe ti wá rí pé kún fọ́fọ́ ó mẹ́gẹ̀sẹ̀ ń gẹ̀ 5 unit course lè tó gbébọ́dì ẹ̀ ó gbọ́dọ̀ gbégbó ẹ̀ ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Jímọ̀ ní déédéé aago 4 ìrọ̀lẹ́ ẹ̀yin oníléeṣẹ́ ńláńlá olókòwò kéékèèké ẹgbẹ́ ìpolówó yín wá sórí ètò káfi tiwa gbé tiyín lárugẹ gbébọ́dì ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú Abíọ́dún ọmọ Sàlámì The Yellow Man lórí ìkànnì Solutions 93.9 FM kájọ máa gbàsíkì mísíkì yásíkì.
Gbogbo wa la ti ń gbòǹgbẹ́rẹ̀ àríyá dé. Ọmọ tó taná gbàtà sórí fún lóríṣiríṣi ọkọ̀rọ̀ sí tí níbo ló kà yín mọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká ju fọ́máàtì. Zoom. Ẹ̀sìn funfun bẹ́ẹ̀rẹ̀ tán. Ó tún ti balẹ̀ bàgẹ́. Ìkànnì Solutions 93.9 FM. Òkè Àdó nílẹ̀ Ìbàdàn ló kí káàbọ̀. Àríyá ń flow pẹ̀lú ọmọ mi tó ti torí bẹ̀ fọ́. Adébáyọ̀ tí àmíjù tó ta sinẹ́. Ọjọ́ Ẹtì ọjọ́ Jímọ̀ náà ló ṣì wà. Friday night. Aago 7 àṣálẹ́ títí di aago 9 bẹ̀rẹ̀. Fàájì oníwákàtí 2 tó máa mú wa tán. Yé gbà. Ẹ ṣé mọ̀ pé Friday yìí ò tí complete. Láìsí àríyá níbẹ̀. Wo ọmọ mi sinẹ́ tún máa rún wa yàtọ̀. Lónìí lédè ọ̀rọ̀ ìṣítí orí àríyá ń flow láago 7 alẹ́ títí di aago 9 bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ́jọ́ Ẹtì ọjọ́ Jímọ̀. Ibẹ̀ láti máa gbọ́. Ìkànnì Solutions 93.9 FM tó kalẹ̀ sókè Àdó Ìbàdàn. Ohun gangan ló tì í sórí afẹ́fẹ́ fún wa. Àríyá ń flow pẹ̀lú Tìámíjú Adébáyọ̀ tó ta sinẹ́. A ti lọ yí jù.
Kó tó dọ́dọ̀ àwọn vendor.
Kó tó dọ́dọ̀ fẹ́ńdọ̀ ṣe bánà ló pètè òní ni ó pètè bọ́lá ó ṣe rí àwọn òròyìn tẹ́ gbọ́ lọ́jọ́ kejì kó tó dọ́dọ̀ fẹ́ńdọ̀ ìkànnì Solutions 93.9 FM ilé àwẹ̀ ní òkè Àdó Ìbàdàn lẹ́ẹ̀tì kọ́kọ́ gbọ́ bó bá ṣe ń jáde ní yàjóyàjó láago 9 sáago 10 àṣálẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ látọjọ́ ajé Monday sọ́jọ́ àbámẹ́ta Sátidé kó tó dọ́dọ̀ fẹ́ńdọ̀ gbogbo àwọn òròyìn tí ó jáde lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà ìkànnì Solutions FM lórí ètò kó tó dọ́dọ̀ fẹ́ńdọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀tì kọ́kọ́ gbọ́.
Ẹ jẹ́ ká lẹ́ ọtí lọ.
onímọ́tò rọra sáré o onímọ́tò rọra ní kọ́nà yẹn.
onímọ́tò sí jẹ́jẹ́ awakọ̀ kẹ̀kẹ́ lẹ́sẹ̀ mẹ́ta sí jẹ́jẹ́ o ọlọ́kadà sí jẹ́jẹ́ rí i dájú wípé ọyẹ́ epo inú ìjánu ọkọ̀ rẹ wò rí i dájú wípé iná ìjánu ọkọ̀ rẹ tàn ní gbogbo ìgbà tó o bá fẹ́ yà sọ́tún yà sósì rí i pé ọ̀tàn náà mo fẹ́ yà kó onímọ́tò má sáré àsápajúdé ọlọ́kadà rọra sáré kọ́ ọ má gbèrò tó ju ọ̀kadà rẹ lọ overloading ọ̀dà rárá tó o bá mutí má wakọ̀ tó o bá wakọ̀ má mutí torí pé ẹ̀mí ò láàárọ̀ ẹni tó bá wà délé lọ́mọ wà ọlọ́run yóò máa sọ wa o àmín. ìkànnì solutions 93.9 fm ló ń ṣe kìlọ̀kìlọ̀ pé ká máa ṣọ́ra sí i lójú òpópónà.
Solutions FM 93.9 òkè àdó nílùú ìbàdàn láàyè ń gbọ́ filẹ̀ má gbé kúrò Solutions FM àwa lọ́nà àbáyọ.
kílódé jẹ́ làbọ̀dé bí mo ṣe ń jáde lọ mo ní mo bẹ̀ ẹ́ ọlọ́run ọba kílódé jẹ́ làbọ̀dé. kílódé jẹ́ làbọ̀dé bí mo ṣe ń jáde lọ mo ní mo bẹ̀ ẹ́ ọlọ́run ọba kílódé jẹ́ làbọ̀dé. gbogbo ní mẹ́rẹ̀ẹ́rẹ́ alábàámbí olóòyàlúmọ́. ṣàṣeyàn ní fẹ́ni lẹ́yìn bàbá ti ń lé ẹ̀rú pamọ́ ní fẹ́ni lóyún ẹni. ọmọ àlímọ́ ṣàdí àmúgbé tá a wílé. ṣé wàá di ọtí mẹ́sẹ̀ kọ́kọ́ ń jẹ́ mi lọ. ìdè of majesty o. kílódé jẹ́ làbọ̀dé bí mo ṣe ń jáde lọ àní mo bẹ̀ ọlọ́run ọba kílódé jẹ́ làbọ̀dé bí mo ṣe ń jáde lọ mo ní mo bẹ̀ ọlọ́run ọba kílódé jẹ́ làbọ̀dé. ta ló lẹ́kún lékeleke ló lẹ́kún. ológun olóhùn orí àti ìlú àdídù tí wà ló ń ṣe olú ọmọ ti gbèrèdè. ṣèbọn wọn lọ́hùn fàtì ló fojúkun síwájú bàbá jẹrẹ ní mọ́tà láyé mi ò ń bẹ ìlú síwájú. Dandogo kọjá ẹ̀wù tọmọgele bínú dá. 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 Kọ́mi lábídì ijó ọlọ́mọge tó mọjó. Ìbàdí kòwé fún mi ọmọge tó mọ yìí. Pàmbó tó dìbò tó bèbí jẹ́ ká jọjó. Pàmbó tó dìbò tó bèbí jẹ́ ká jọjó. Pàmbó tó dìbò tó bèbí jẹ́ ká jọjó. Pàmbótóri bótó bèbí jẹ́ ká jọjó. Pàmbótóri bótó bèbí jẹ́ ká jọjó. Ọba onírú ọ̀wà ìjó ni ó bá mi jó. Ọba onírú ọ̀wà ìjó ni ó bá mi jó. ìrùkẹ̀rẹ̀ mi yẹ́yẹ́ ò létí odò ọba fújì fèrèdè kájọ́káyọ̀. ìrùkẹ̀rẹ̀ mi yẹ́yẹ́ ò létí odò ọba fújì fèrèdè kájọ́káyọ̀. ọba oríru ọwà ìjó ni bá mi jó. alọ́ba oríru ọwà ìjó ni bá mi jó. bí mo ṣe ń kọ fújì mi èmi lóye o kò sẹ́ni mọ̀ ọ́ kan tó dàbí ọlọ́mọ kéwàá ní ọ̀gbìn. ọba oríru ọwà ìjó ni ó bá mi jó. ọba oríru ọwà ìjó ni ó bá mi jó. ọba oríru ọwà ìjó ni ó bá mi jó. nítorí eré ni mo fi raṣọ wálé. nítorí ni mo fi ràlẹ̀kẹ̀ ọ̀run. ẹ̀yin ò lè ṣe kẹ́ ẹ̀ má fẹsẹ̀ rájò àwa náà lè ṣe ká má lùlù fún yín o. torí pé ẹ̀yin ò lè ṣe kẹ́ ẹ̀ má fẹsẹ̀ rájò àwa náà lè ṣe ká má lùlù fún yín o. ẹ̀yẹ̀wò bèbí tó ń jó tapá tẹ̀fẹ̀. ìyẹ̀wò bèbí tó ń jó tapá tẹ̀fẹ̀. ìlẹ̀kẹ̀ ń sọ̀rọ̀ àwọn kọ̀ọ̀kan rọjú kọ̀ọ̀kan máa rọjú mọ́ ọlọ́mọ méjì lọ́kàn. ọba oríru ọwà ìjó ni ó bá mi jó. ọba oríru ọwà ìjó ni ó bá mi jó. ọba oríru ọwà ìjó ni ó bá mi jó. ọba oríru ọwà ìjó ni ó bá mi jó. ọba oríru ọwà ìjó ni ó bá mi jó. ọmọ níta lọ́gbọ̀dé. Àyíndé ló súyọ̀ bí ọ̀wàrà òjò kí ẹ sáré wá. Kí la fi ń mọ bá? Adé la fi ń mọ bá. Ìlẹ̀kẹ̀ ọrùn la fi ń mọ jòyè. Àpò la fi ń mọ jẹ. Àyíndé bá dé tòun ti lù òun lẹ ó fi mọ̀ wípé àtúndé. Kutupa ẹṣin dondo kutupa ẹṣin dondo. Kutupa ẹṣin dondo kutupa ẹṣin dondo. Ẹlẹ́bùdì yìí ládùn ó oyin lọ́mọ kò gbọ́dọ̀ kọ́ sílẹ̀ ẹ̀fà ṣọ́kù. Kutupa ó ẹṣin dondo kutupa ẹṣin dondo. Ẹlẹ́lẹ́ yìí ó lè dùn ó oyin lọ́mọ kò gbọ́dọ̀ kọ́ sílẹ̀ ẹ̀fà ṣọ́kù. Ìdẹ́wẹ̀lẹ̀ yìí ká jù ó oyin lọ́mọ kò gbọ́dọ̀ kọ́ sílẹ̀ ẹ̀fà ṣọ́kù.
Fílẹ̀ sórí wáyà yẹn.
Solutions 93.9 FM àwẹ̀ ní àòsòkè àdó Ìbàdàn àwa lọ́nà àbáyọ.
orí ẹni làwúrẹ́ tí mo bá jí lówùrọ̀ máa fọwọ́ di rí mú orí ẹni làwúrẹ́. orí ẹni làwúrẹ́ tí mo bá jí lówùrọ̀ máa fọwọ́ di rí mú orí ẹni làwúrẹ́. orílẹ̀ lẹ́jọ́ báwọn ẹlẹ́gàn ń fẹ́ gan kò bí mi nínú orí dá mi láre máa dúpẹ́. orí dá mi láre máa dúpẹ́ o orí dá mi láre máa dúpẹ́. orí mo wú 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 orí mo wú wú wú. Babátúndé Músílẹ̀ ò tí a bá jí lówùrọ̀ ká fọwọ́ dèrè mú ká máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ orí lójoojúmọ́. Músílẹ̀ ò mẹ́ṣọ́lá Túndé ọmọ Túndé ṣe orí ni orí ni orí àdúdú máa ń dẹ orí ni àwọn kan ní máa ní èrò pógùn ni orí ni orí ni orí ni orí ni orí ni orí mi tètè la orí ni orí ọlọ́lá máa pè mí rán níṣẹ́ orí ni orí mi orí ni kò gbọ́dọ̀ gbóná orí ni borí bá gbóná orí ni ẹlẹ́dàá fò lọ orí ni àwọn kẹ́ni máa ní òrò oògùn lé orí ni. Musiliu Babátúndé mò ń dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ orí lójoojúmọ́. orí ẹni kó má fìyà jẹ ní àtàrí ẹni kó má fòṣì ta ní. orí ẹni kó má fìyà jẹ ní àtàrí ẹni kó má fòṣì ta ní. olúwa ọba jẹ́ àṣìṣe àṣẹlá jẹ́ àdówó lọ́wọ́ olúwa ọba fún wa lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ àìsèké tábúwa owó lòlù ṣayé láìsí owó kò sẹ́niyàn o. ẹgbẹ́rin lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí Túndé Gúngún jọ bí ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ orí mò ń dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ orí. orí ẹni kó má fìyà jẹ ní àtàrí ẹni kó má fòṣì ta ní. orí ẹni kó má fìyà jẹ ní àtàrí ẹni kó má fòṣì ta ní. olúwa ọba kí a ṣiṣẹ́ àṣelá kí a lówó lọ́wọ́ olúwa ọba fún wa lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ àìsèké tábúwa owó lòlù ṣayé láìsí owó kò sẹ́niyàn o. orí mi mo dìé mú ẹlẹ́dàá mi mo dìé mú orí mi mo dìé mú ẹlẹ́dàá mi mo dìé mú. orí àdúdú máa ń dẹ́ orí mi tètè la kórì ọlọ́lá máa pè mí rán níṣẹ́ orí mi tó gbọ́dọ̀ gbóná orí bá gbóná ẹlẹ́dàá fò lọ. Babátúndé mò ń dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ orí borí dá mi láre máa dúpẹ́ o borí dá mi láre máa dúpẹ́ borí dá mi láre máa dúpẹ́ o borí dá mi láre máa dúpẹ́. Ìṣọ̀lá gbọ́gbọ́rọ̀ lọ́wọ́ yọ gbọ́gbọ́rọ̀ lọ́wọ́ yọ kọ́ lọ́wọ́ yọ wọ́ o mo yọ tèmi gbọ́gbọ́rọ̀ lọ́wọ́ yọ. bó ní mọ́tò ń ra mọ́tò máa ra tèmi gbọ́gbọ́rọ̀ lọ́wọ́ yọ. bó ní lé ń ṣílé o máa ṣí tèmi gbọ́gbọ́rọ̀ lọ́wọ́ yọ. orí mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹ lójoojúmọ́ orí ẹni làbá fún àbáforìṣà sílẹ̀. ó yá Túndé kọrin wípé orí mi á so wọ́n mọ́lẹ̀ bí ẹran so ẹ̀dá mi á so wọ́n mọ́lẹ̀ bí ẹran so. ọ̀tá lé ọ̀tá òde ọ̀tá aládùúgbò tó ń bá mi ṣọ̀tá o orí mi á so wọ́n mọ́lẹ̀ bí ẹran so. orí dá mi láre máa dúpẹ́ o orí dá mi láre máa dúpẹ́ orí dá mi láre máa dúpẹ́ o orí dá mi láre máa dúpẹ́.
Solutions FM